Okay, so you guys have been telling me for years now to check out these guitars, that you felt that they make a better Les Paul than Gibson does. And finally, we have one here in the studio. We're going to check out and see, do they make a better Les Paul than Gibson? Let's see. Okay, so there are only two companies in the world, in my opinion, that can say that they make a Les Paul. One being Gibson, and two being Heritage. Everybody else makes single cuts. Now, if you don't know the story of Heritage, you might be like, well, why do they get to say that? What happened was, Gibson was originally in Michigan, moved down to Tennessee. Some of the builders stayed behind and started their own company in the old Gibson building called Heritage. So, you know, the building that Heritage is in has actually been making Les Pauls longer than the one that's even in Nashville. So I feel like they should have that right, even though I think legally they probably can't say that. It's an H-150. But it's a Les Paul at the end of the day, and it is a phenomenal one. You guys told me these were good. I did not know that they were this good. Also, super quick, if you guys are digging the videos at all, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button, come back, hang out with us. I've got some super nerdy Nashville videos coming up here real soon, so I think you guys are going to like those. And if you want to check out more about this guitar, links are down below. Okay, so this is a Heritage H-150 Artist Aged, and recently I did a video taking apart a Gibson, pros pointing out everything that was wrong with it, and there was a lot of upset people in there. But one of the big things I kept seeing pop up in there is, why don't you ever have a Heritage on the channel? And I was like, that's a really good point. I should get one at some point to have on the channel. And the awesome people at Sweetwater were nice enough to send this over to me to check out. And I have just fallen in love with the guitar. You'll notice I took the pickguard off of it. I'm getting ready to start changing some things on it because I like about 98% of the guitar. I'm going to cover everything I like and the couple of things that I didn't care for. But I am going to end up keeping this guitar because it has completely floored me. So to every person who ever recommended Heritage to me, you are absolutely right. This has the most comfortable neck I've ever felt on a Les Paul. I mean, it's gorgeous for one. Dirty Lemon Burst is my favorite burst of all time. It has Antiquity pickups in there, mahogany. I think they call it curly maple, which I just like that they call it that. And so many things about this guitar I just genuinely fell in love with. The smell of it, I mean, just everything. It's such a good experience. So let me play you some tones. I'll get more into the specs here, or not even the specs. Like, I just enjoyed the guitar so much. So that is the specs. I mean, it's everything you think that a normal Les Paul is, but just feels better. I don't know, like it's the best Les Paul I've played in a very long time. Now for the tones today, you're going to be hearing the Heritage through, the super lead back there for kind of more like the distorted bits, and then back there you see the Z-Rec. That's going to be all the clean stuff. So you're going to hear both of those. Reverb and all that stuff is coming from the aux, And that's kind of it. We're going to keep it pretty simple and just let the guitar do the talking. Okay, so I told you guys I would tell you what I liked and what I did not like about the guitar, because it's not perfect. There are some things I did not care for on the guitar, and some things I really liked. So one of the things is the aging on the guitar. I think they did a really good job because you kind of can't tell that it's even aged from far away. You know, as you get really close, maybe you can kind of see it. If you get the angle with the light right and everything, you can see it. But it's aged without being like too aged. It doesn't look ridiculous. It just feels really good. It feels very broken in. So that's of course going to be a personal preference, and I think they make them brand new looking too. Just if you want it to feel a little broken in, that's probably why I'm liking this one so much, is it just feels like I've played it for a long time. Now, one of the things I did not like about the guitar, which is probably obvious, is the pickguard is gone, and I'm an extremely pro pickguard on Les Paul person. I did not care for that one. That's just a personal preference. It's not a big deal because you take a couple screws out, boom, the pickguard's gone. I could probably get a Gibson pickguard and put it on there if I wanted to, but I might just leave this one like this. I think it looks pretty good. So the next thing that really stood out to me was the neck on this thing. It is such a comfortable feeling. Like it's probably more like a C shape, and it's bigger, but not too big. You know, smaller necks tend to hurt my thumb placement, but this one is just incredibly comfortable. I really, really like that. One of the things I thought was fascinating that a lot of people complain about, not with Heritage, but with other Les Pauls, is tooling marks in the fretboard. And, I've had SGs that had newer ones that had lots of tooling marks in the fretboard. I didn't find any on here. I gave you guys some close-ups, but like if you're looking at it, I mean, there's just nothing. Very clean work. Maybe that's, just because there's a little more time spent on these. They don't have to crank them out as fast. But attention to detail, big thumbs up to Heritage. I really, really like that. We should definitely talk about the headstock. Now, I think some people do not like this headstock. Some people do like it. Some people are probably like me. I'm just kind of like, it's not the best, but I don't hate it either. I like it enough to where it would never deter me from wanting the guitar. Like, I think the guitar is incredible. So headstock is like, you know what? It doesn't add any points, but it doesn't take anything away from me either. And there you have it, the Heritage H-150 Artist Aged. This thing is phenomenal. Here's how you know when you have a great guitar. When I got this a couple weeks ago, first thing I did was you open up the case, that awesome nitro smell that's been locked in that case comes out, and you're like, yeah. But what happened was I grabbed the neck and was immediately like, oh. And I sat there and I played it at the kitchen table for probably 30 minutes. I remember my wife asking me, like, oh, you got, the new guitar showed up. And I was like, yeah, this thing is amazing. She's like, oh, have you plugged it in and played it yet? And I was like, no, I've just been sitting here playing it. And I feel like that's how you know when the guitar is good. You can change the pickups, but the guitar itself needs to be good. So I was just, connecting with the way the guitar played and felt and resonated. And it was so loud. I don't even care what this thing sounds like when I plug it in. I go, the guitar is great. And I plugged it in, I'm like, sounds even better than what I was hoping for. So I don't know. I feel like that's how you really build a connection with an instrument. Play it unplugged first. So Since I am going to be keeping this one now, I have to get rid of something. I'm probably leaning towards maybe getting rid of the Ingve Strat. So I'm going to go keep playing this thing. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And, yo, just go play some guitar. All right? Later, homies.